everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Turnips to Tangerines, and welcome back to my Wisconsin series. Today we are going to make the Wisconsin Classic Brandy Old Fashioned. This recipe is a must-have when if you ever visit Wisconsin, if you live in Wisconsin, you have had a brandy old-fashioned at least one time. Your grandma or grandpa or mom or dad probably made you one on your 21st birthday. In my era, you had to be 18 to drink alcohol, and that's when I had my first brandy old-fashioned sweet, and that's what I'm making here today. We like our brandy old-fashioned so much here in Wisconsin that we even have brandy old-fashioned scented candles that you can buy, and we have brandy old-fashioned Kringles that you can buy, and there's all kinds of different flavored brandy old-fashioned. I think they might even have a brandy old-fashioned flavored brat. I'm not positive, but they might. Maybe even a block of cheese. And making this old-fashioned, brandy old-fashioned, a supper club, like I said, favorite. If you've ever been to Wisconsin, also, you do know what a supper club is. Brandy old-fashions are a very classic drink to order before you have your meal at a restaurant, at a supper club especially. You can order these at any tavern, bar, anywhere. You can order a brandy old-fashioned. Like I said, I had my first one, I think, when I was 18. I do remember it had the swizzle stick was one of those sticks with the sugar, crystallized sugars on it, and you would just sit and stir it all and drink it, and the sugar crystals would dissolve, and oh boy, I'll tell you, by the end of the night, I had enough. So anyhow, I also have a very I think it's just not a very large blog post. It's a small blog post. I have a blog post on my blog, www.turnipstotangerines, that tells a little bit about this, Supper Club Classic, the Wisconsin Classic cocktail. And it goes into a little bit more of the history of it, and the Korbel Brandy is a must when you make an old-fashioned. It was the first time they made, I think it was in the Chicago World's Fair or something, they made a brandy old-fashioned, and being from, a lot of people here in Wisconsin are from, German descent, they went for the brandy old-fashions, and it became a big hit, and it still is to this day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some ice for my glass here, and you have to make it in a small short glass like this, or old-fashioned glass, and this is about as close as I have to an old-fashioned glass, or I think years ago we used to call these buckets. I don't know if they still do, but I know I used to always order rum and cokes in a bucket. So this is the glass I'm going to be using, and I'm going to go get some ice for it, and I will be right back. Okay, let's get started on making our brandy old-fashioned, the Wisconsin Classic Brandy Old-Fashioned. Okay, here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a slice of orange, and we're going to put that in the bottom of the glass, and then we are going to take out a couple of cherries. I think I'm going to add 2 just for the heck of it, like I said. And then we are going to add 1 sugar cube. We're going to pull up that in. You could probably add, well, we'll add 1, okay? We don't want it to super sweet. And I'm going to shake up the bitters because I just bought these. And these are just your regular old bitters that I think people have seen, and I'm sure some people wonder what they are and why we have them and why people use them. Well, this is one of the reasons why. And I bought some sugar cubes, and I'm sure I'll use those. If I don't use them all for cocktails, I will use them for something else. And what you do is you take your bitters and you add 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 just for good measure. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take, I don't have a muddler, so I'm going to use this big thing here. It looks kind of silly, but hey, if it works, right? And you just kind of smash everything in here and work it around. I have dogs in here now that I'm not really sure what they're doing, but they're in here. So you kind of muddle all this around and mix it up, kind of stir it up. Ooh, it smells good. It smells like, ooh, that smells good. It does. The muddling really helps. Some people go, oh, why bother? But hey, it does work. You need to get all the sugar released and everything all nice and gooey here. Okay, and that should be good. And I believe this is a rolling pin to make noodles of some kind. I'm really not positive. I had it in there. I don't have a muddler. I used to. And hey, this will work. Why not, right? Yeah. By the end of the night, you just might need this as a, you know, you never know. So, I was going to say weapon, but I don't know if that's politically correct anymore. So, now we add our ice. So I'm going to put some ice cubes in the glass. I put ice over here. And you put as much ice in there as you like. My husband likes a lot of ice. So we will do that. And you put that down. And I'm going to put this a little closer now. Because now we're going to add our, let me see, can you get this closer here? Yeah. There we go. And now we're going to add our brandy. And like I said, this is the Korbel Brandy, and I've talked to many people, and it's just not a brandy old-fashioned, a Wisconsin style brandy old-fashioned, unless you use the Korbel Brandy. And Wisconsin is actually the state in the Union, or the state in the United States, that uses the most Korbel, or purchases the most Korbel brandy. So that goes to show we like our brandy old fashions here. I read that, I was researching it, and I thought, really, I didn't even know that. But I always wondered about the Korbel Brandy, because you see it all over the place, and I always, said to my husband, what exactly, did you ever have that? He goes, I think it's for something or another, but he didn't know. He doesn't drink a lot of brandy old fashions, but he just might, because this smells really good, and it's not even poured in there yet. But anyway, like I said, Wisconsin is the state that purchases and consumes the most Korbel Brandy. So that's probably truth behind that then. I also, for some reason, and I don't know why, I do not have a shot glass, so I'm just going to free pour. And that's just, yep, that should be good. Ooh, smells good. It's a nice smelling brandy too. Maybe that's why it's used. It doesn't taste overly strong or anything. No. Okay, and I'm just going to slightly stir this up here a little bit. Ooh, there we go. I'm going to stir all that muddled in there. Get the sugar up a little bit. You get down there. My dog loves ice cubes. So there we go. There. And now we're just going to add our Sprite. You can use 7-Up, you can use Sprite, you can use Diet Sprite, Diet 7-Up, you can use Squirt is a big one. You can use anything that would go like that. I suppose you could even use Mellow Yellow, or you could probably even use a Jelly Good Pop, some sort of something like that. We used to have them when I was a kid, way back in the, way back when, too far back to even remember or say the date. We used to have what was called Little Shoot Pop, and we used to love that stuff. And then you just fill it to the top and let it get all sizzly, bubbly like that. Ooh, now that looks like Christmas at my parents' house right here. Yup, right here. This looks like when I was a kid, my Christmas at my grandma's house, or when my parents had people over. They always had the old-fashions, always. Now, to garnish. I'm going to garnish with a couple more cherries here. Some of my cherries have stems on here and some do not. And I would say a good 4 is plenty here. Whoa, stick my finger in there. And, I'll do 3. How about 3? And there we go. And I remember as kids, my parents used to always give us the cherries here. And there we go. And then you're going to take a nice slice of orange, and we are going to put that right there. And here we go, folks. Here, folks, is the classic brandy old-fashioned that is made in the state of Wisconsin. It's our signature drink. We love this drink. And like I said, as far as I know, we've been drinking them for many years, because this brings back many memories right here. This glass was was my mother's glass. She had a set of these. This is I can't pronounce the name. It's from Germany anyway. And this looks like the glass that I would see when my parents had their friends over playing cards at Christmas time. And they'd all be, smoking their Camels and their Salems and, playing cards, playing sheephead and all that kind of stuff. And everybody had a glass of this sitting there. And I'm going to take a little sip because I haven't had one of these in years. Oh, you know what? That tastes pretty darn good. And you know what? I'll bet you a lot. These are sneaky little devils. They will sneak up and bite you right in the ass. So, here we go. Here is our signature cocktail from Wisconsin, the Brandy Old Fashioned Sweet. And I hope you give one a try. They are, as you saw, simple to make, and they are refreshing and delicious. And I'm sure you're going to like them as much as we do. So, thanks so much for stopping by to my Wisconsin series, and you have yourself a good day, and go make yourself a brandy old-fashioned sweet. You're going to love it. Bye-bye.